Hey, all you Golden Eagles, you're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Jenny Meggs explaining issues African Americans face after integration, and Shy Davis with your SM2 News Wrap. But don't touch that dial because Miss Daniela Terrell with the Bougie Boss pop-up market will share some things that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio and USM Campus News. USM marking National First Gen Week has started. This week, the University of Southern Mississippi will be celebrating students, faculty, and staff who are first-generation students. For some, you may remember a previous guest talking about this opportunity. And now, it's finally here. Dr. Ashley Burnside, the director of the Center of Student Success, goes on to say this for the event. Taking time to celebrate the many contributions of USM's first-generation faculty, staff, and students during the week of November 6th is something all the offices involved are absolutely thrilled about. This week's slogan states, First Gen on Fire, and that is exactly what USM First Generation population is. Our first generation faculty, staff, and students are fearless, intelligent, resilient, and excellent. Check out the events online by searching National First Gen Week USM in your browser or by contacting Dr. Ashley Burnside. In Hattiesburg news, the Hattiesburg Zoo brings back popular Lights of the Wild tickets. Tickets are now on sale. The Hattiesburg Zoo is quickly preparing for its newest eye-catching event with the Lights of the Wild. This year's event will take place from December 1st all the way to December 23rd. Quite some time to truly live in the holiday spirit here at the Hattiesburg Zoo. If you're interested, come and stop by for sparkling lanterns that have yet to be revealed, story time with Mrs. Claus, photos with Santa, animal encounters, enjoying the holiday season, and unlimited rides on the Northern Lights Express train. So, if you're excited, come and stop by for a winter wonderland that you will never forget. Also, keep in mind that it's voting day, so go out and vote if you're able to. In Mississippi news, Hinds County District Attorney assisting JSU, state agencies after student was killed on campus. It is with a heavy heart to reveal that Jalen Burns from Jackson State University was shot and killed at the University Point apartment complex on October 15th. However, we have learned of an update. The Hinds County District Attorney's Office is working with state law in hopes of helping Jackson State University with the homicide investigation. Jody E. Owens, II, the Hinds County District Attorney, revealed this statement. This morning, I spoke to DPS Commissioner Sean Tyndall about how best to bring state resources to the investigation to support Jackson State. In the coming days, we will be bringing more resources to the investigation to assist the Jackson State Police Department in bringing those responsible to justice. In national news, a shopper finds a human skull in a Halloween section of a thrift store. When browsing through the Halloween section within a thrift store, a shopper from Florida found something that they couldn't believe to be real. However, with the help of the Major Crimes Unit and with the help of the shopper being an anthropologist, it was discovered to be an actual human skull. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is currently working with the Medical Examiner's Office to further test the background of the skull. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ed Simpson, Director of the School of Media and Communication at USM. Join me on Southern Miss Radio Friday afternoons at 12:30 for a new show, News You Need. On News You Need, USM students will discuss current events and why those events are important to them. Listen in on how the future citizens of the U.S. consider news and how those news events affect their lives. Join me for News You Need, Fridays at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Davis eclipses 1,000, leads Lady Eagles to season-opening win. Dominique Davis had more than an amazing milestone, but scored a win on top of it. Representing the Southern Miss women's basketball team, Dominique Davis scored her 1,000th career point on free throws, which gave Southern Miss the opportunity to hold the lead over William Carey. Head coach Joy Lee McNellis reveals this statement. With so many newcomers, you never know what's going to happen. When there are butts in the seats and the real stripes come on, you don't know how they're going to handle it all. That was one of the best first halves that we have had in some time, even with our starting five starting the game with a turnover. Once we settled in, that group did a great job, as did our subs off the bench. We've got a lot of depth that will allow us to do a lot of different things. William Carey played hard. They lost a lot of players from last year's teams to graduation. But I'll tell you, they're going to be really, really good. To keep up with all the Golden Eagle sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. What a change. We've upgraded from needing 2 jackets to barely needing 1. Our highs are in the low 80s with our lows in the high 50s. A complete total shift from what we've been experiencing last week. We don't have to worry about any rain just yet, but it does look like it might be on the horizon. Additionally, it looks like there's a moderate risk for the flu because of our conditions, so make sure that you watch out for that. Up next, we have Jenny Meggs explaining issues African Americans faced after integration of schools. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. After the schools in Ocean Springs integrated, issues still arose as to the treatment of black students, according to Jeannie Meggs. She explains.
Now, I can address this a little bit, the integration process, because my youngest brother was one of the first classes that went to Ocean Springs High. And he experienced prejudice. He did. He experienced prejudice. As a matter of fact, he was a very good student. But he was told that he was not college material, that he would never make it, and that he would never amount to anything by one of his teachers. My mother told him just the opposite. So then he had older sisters who had gone to college. As a matter of fact, there were 5 of us, all of us are college grads. And so he had older sisters that helped him get into school, but had he listened to that teacher, he would not have succeeded. And he has a master's degree now. He works for the state of Colorado. So absolutely that teacher was incorrect. So that's one thing that I wanted to address, that in spite of being in an integrated environment, it was like being in a segregated environment because you lost those strong teachers who were going to encourage you.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was Jenny Meggs. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Miss Daniela Terrell with the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market. I can't believe I did it again. I was literally talking with you just a second ago about how I wouldn't do it, but this time I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to nail it.
Let's go.
The Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market. There we go.
There you go. There you go. You did it.
How are you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for asking.
I'm doing pretty okay, and I'm so glad to have you here and have this energy in the room. It's absolutely amazing. But I know that some people might not know you. So, of course, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, my name is Daniela Terrell. I'm a licensed clinical social worker who just so happened to start an online ladies' clothing boutique and ventured into having a retail location in Turtle Creek Mall and started hosting pop-up events.
Right.
So you can call me a retail therapist, literally. And so, yeah, that's me.
That's exciting, and I like the term like retail therapist. It kind of goes off the tongue, and I already know that like it's almost become like a dreaded phrase for me for how much I've mixed it up. But I'm not going to do it this time. For anyone who doesn't know, the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market. What is that all about?
So we opened up in Turtle Creek Mall to provide a retail location for small businesses who did not have that space. During the pandemic, you had a lot of businesses that popped up. They created out of the pandemic. A lot of businesses were created, and they were doing business online and not in they were doing it in a remote location, so not in a specific space. And so the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market allows them to come in. And you set up when you are available to set up. So if you're available on Thursday, you can sign up to set up there. Or if you're available only on Fridays, you can sign up to set up on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, so on and so forth. We're open every week, Thursday through Sunday, in Turtle Creek Mall.
Wow. I mean, that's absolutely amazing for people to have an opportunity to really bring themselves up and pop up, I guess, to be able to show themselves to the community of Hattiesburg, especially during this drastic and heavy time we've had with the pandemic, and understanding how hard it is to like start that business and be able to thrive with so many people out there with competing like franchises and brands and all these like corporate entities. It's hard for like the everyday person to like get a voice, and it's so wonderful that you're able to do that and provide just this moment every week for them to go over and go like, forget all that. Forget all that.
Right.
That doesn't
Just
matter.
come on in here and set up in here with us. And that's what we do.
That's absolutely amazing. And it looks like we have a very exciting holiday expo coming up. Can you tell us about that?
So November the 18th,
Right.
At the Hattiesburg Train Depot from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market is hosting or coordinating the Holiday Expo and Christmas Market. It's the 12th year for this event, but it's the second year that the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market is the coordinator for this event.
Well, I really like that, but I also know that there's a little bit more that I want to know about it. So, like, what types of things can, like, people expect?
Everything. If you looking for it, we should have it. We're your handmade, homemade items, jellies, jams, scarves, sports tables, sports tumblers, glass cups, candles, body scrubs, body waxes, ornaments, wreaths, door hangers, anything.
Right. So this isn't really, just to understand properly, this isn't really like an event where someone can like go in and like do all these different like events, like a beanbag toss or anything like that. This is a moment where you're able to branch out with your community.
Shop
and be able to,
and have fun. We'll have Santa Claus.
Right.
So Mr. and Mrs. Kringle will be there for the children and the families to take pictures.
I love that.
Bring your pets. They can take a picture with Santa too. We'll have Worthy Stables there with their pets, with their I know that they'll bring their horses and some of their other small pets. They'll have those out there so that the children can be entertained by pets, and pets are therapeutic. So they'll be there with
100%.
that. We'll have live music. We'll have Crossbridge Band, as well as Keisha Brown Cooley there, DJ Potty on the ones and the twos. Vitalent Blood Services will be there for our blood drive. We'll have Wing Thursday there with food. The Gallery at Chop Chop will be there with food. Several baked goodies, Baked with Love, Bakeology, Homemade Cakes by Lysandra. So you've got it. Mr. Ed with his honey, Scentsy, Pink Zebra. I'm trying to think of them all by name, but Southern Christian Services will be there. Canopy Children's Solutions will be there. Jump In Gymnastics will be there. So this is a moment for individuals, businesses, organizations, and nonprofits to showcase their product. During the year, people are looking for things to do or places to go or different foods to have at this time of the year during the holiday. And you can get all of your ingredients from us. And two, you can connect with businesses who provide services within the community. Some of them this time of the year, businesses and organizations that you can provide volunteer hours or receive volunteer hours with. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
Retail therapy.
Absolutely. I love that title. But that's so amazing, and that's such a blast that it's like there's going to be music and there's going to be food and there's going to be so many members of the Hattiesburg community that are going to be all together and showing off what they got.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing.
But guess what? It's not just people from Hattiesburg.
Really?
We got vendors coming from Alabama, Louisiana, all over the state of Mississippi, Georgia, and Texas.
Wow.
So Chop Chop the Gallery at Chop Chop, I have to give her name right.
Right.
She is the in-house chef for the Minnesota Vikings. So I didn't just get hear me. Didn't just get some random person off the streets to come and cook. Yes. Wing Thursday, new and upcoming wing guy that has, I'm talking about all types of wings.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the food, if nothing else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uncle Ed, he's not Uncle Ed to y'all. He's Uncle Ed to me.
Right.
But Ed's Backyard Bees, his honey, he's USM Hall of Fame is in my book. But he is the genius of honey, local made. His honey, you can find it in several stores, being used by several restaurants here in Hattiesburg. So I'm excited about the vendors that are coming.
I mean, golly, I already, I know that I've repeated it so many times about, a community of Hattiesburg, but being able to know that there's all different parts of the South that are coming down. And then also having this opportunity to eat food from such a big background like that. I mean, you don't want to miss that. I mean, come on.
It's a bougie event. You got to come.
Exactly. And I do understand that this is the 12th annual Pine Belt Holiday Expo. So if you've been to this expo before, do you have a favorite memory from it?
So the crazy thing is prior to being the host for the event, I was a participant of the event.
Ooh.
So as a participant of the event, I had my favorite spot.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was one thing. But just being in the midst of some of the people inside, because I was indoors. So inside the community room or the grand hall and selling my product, watching the people come through.
Yeah.
Those people at that event becoming customers online and inside my store. But as a promoter of the event, everything is my favorite. From the people, well, not the people fussing at me, because they do that on the front end. They do fuss at you on the front end. But for them on the back end saying, you know what, this was a really good event. I'll see you next year. So that's probably my favorite part. Being able to taste some of the food, because I be walking around working, so I want to make sure I don't fall out.
Right.
But being able to see and purchase from some of the small businesses, being able to provide that support back to them, I enjoy that too.
Right. Did you have a favorite dish when you were walking around, or was it all just good?
Everything was good to me, but I'll let everybody be my favorite.
I think that's a good answer.
I'll let everybody be my favorite.
I think that's a good answer.
I'm thinking of my favorites in my head right now.
Yeah. Do you want to share your favorites?
It's so many, all of them. First of all, what you're not going to do is get me in trouble with some, oh, she didn't say I was her favorite. You are my favorite, baby. You are my favorite. If the question is who's my favorite, it's you. It's you.
Well, I love that. And
Don't be trying to get me in trouble.
Right. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, with anyone that hasn't been to the Holiday Expo, what are you hoping that people take away from this and also from the Bougie Boss pop-up market?
Collaboration,
Right.
connection, fun,
Right.
family, and unity.
Right.
So that's a lot. But we are so much better together. Even in the pop-up store, it's my store. I hold the main responsibility in that store, making sure the lights stay on, making sure the doors stay open. I hold that main responsibility. Yeah. But I get to sit and help other people's business be successful. In the store this weekend, one of my vendors, she was swamped. I mean, she was busy. Well, I got staff in my store helping me. And so I was able to go out and help her service her customers. I love that. I love that. I love that. To be able to walk away with a product and I'm using it later on and somebody's like, oh, where you get that from?
Yeah.
And for me to say, oh, at the Bougie Boss pop-up market. Or, oh, I got this from this vendor at the Holiday Expo.
Yeah.
They'll be there this year. You should come back and see them.
Yeah.
Ornaments on my tree that are unique ornaments. Not ornaments that you're going to find in the store that someone else is going to have, but unique ornaments. Where'd you get that from? Oh, at the Holiday Expo. You should come,
Right.
So I love it. The collaboration. I've made so many friends. I've made new family members as the host of this event, as well as the host of the pop-up market. So I just like it. The unity. Being able to see, I look back through my phone at some of the pictures that were taken with Santa last year, and some of them are hilarious. Hilarious. The kids who are, they're hardcore, but when they see Santa, they are like, ah! And some of them were so excited to see them, just the joy that comes. Even the adults taking pictures with Santa. It was just beautiful.
I love that fully. And I'm already imagining the little moments that the kids would be having, running over and going like, oh, yeah. And the mothers or the fathers going over with the parents and saying like, see, now you have to be good. Mm-hmm. Christmas is right around the corner and you see who's right there. He's sitting right there. What you going to do?
Right.
I can only remember moments with my dad of like sitting on Santa's lap, and then I would walk over like starstruck and looking over, and I go like, I have to brush my teeth, I have to like wash my face, and he's looking over and go like, it's fine.
And listen, this is the thing too, like, which is why I love this part. The Kringles are amazing. They're a local company, but they will be there the whole time to provide a Santa and a Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and Chris Ortiz will be there taking pictures. But these are memories that you get to take home with you of your children's expression with Santa. And just like you just told that memory that you have of your dad with Santa, during the pandemic, we lost so much.
We did.
But you can take a whole bunch of different tangible things, but you can't take my memories.
No, you cannot.
So I love looking back at some of the old pictures. Actually, if you follow us on Pine Belt Holiday Expo and Christmas Market, you'll see those pictures posting from now throughout the event from last year. And then we'll continue to do that for next year going forward. So
this is an amazing and a beautiful and wonderful opportunity. And I know that there's one thing that I want to ask you as like a closing out thing. I know that some people are looking at this event and already like, well, I got to mark it down. I got to go. But I know that some people are very like hesitant and very on the fence. So do those people that like are just on the fence between having a memory that they won't forget and sitting on their couch and watching like Stranger Things or whatever's trending on Netflix, what do you want to say to them?
Get out the house. Get downtown. Get downtown Hattiesburg for the holidays. Come to the Pine Belt Holiday Expo and Christmas Market. I promise you, you will have a great time. So listen, the music, I'm a lover of Christian music. Yeah. So our two live entertainers are live Christian bands and music artists. But we'll have all types of music played there by our DJ. He's going to play a little bit of everything. But music is uplifting. It's therapy. So even if you don't come out and buy anything from anybody, come have a seat and listen to the live music.
Yeah.
And come get a picture with Santa.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, thank you so much, Miss Daniela Terrell, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. And make sure to keep those eyes and ears open for the Holiday Expo with the Hattiesburg Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market.
Period.
There we go.
Yes, you got it.
Thank you so much for coming on today. Coming up, we've got our very own Shy Davis with your SM2 News Wrap. Check it out.
Gwendolyn Gray announces that she is no longer running for governor of Mississippi and endorses Brandon Presley. Brett Favre's welfare scandal begins to catch up to him, but his deposition gets moved, and an Israeli father is left in shambles after his daughters and wife were kidnapped during the war with Israel and Hamas. Gwendolyn Gray, a third-party candidate in the governor's race, has announced that she will no longer be running. Gray announced Monday that she would be withdrawing from the race as well as endorsing Democratic candidate Brandon Presley. I trust Brandon Presley because he knows where so many Mississippians are, and he will always fight so people who work for a living can have a chance to reach their fullest potential, said Gray after the announcement. Brandon Presley and his team celebrated the endorsement via a press release on Monday. That article is brought to you by Taylor Vance. Hopefully, Gray finds fulfillment in whatever she decides to do after this. An Israeli father by the name of Yoni Asher claims to have been living a nightmare after his wife and two daughters were taken as hostages in the Israel and Hamas war. Hamas militants launched a surprise attack on Israel on Friday. Asher was on a call with his wife when suddenly the line disconnected. He then saw a video of the hostages and identified his wife and daughters. Quote, "I couldn't believe this is happening to me," end quote, Asher said. At least 560 people have been killed and over 2,500 injured. The war between Israel and Hamas is absolutely gut-wrenching. Hopefully something is done to stop this soon. Brett Favre's deposition has been rescheduled to December. The retired NFL's players' attorneys have asked the court to postpone the deposition. Favre is going to be answering questions under oath about $77 million being used to fund his and other people's personal projects. $5 million was supposed to go to needy families, but instead went to Favre to build a volleyball arena at the University of Southern Mississippi. Favre has denied any wrongdoing in the case, and currently no charges have been brought against Favre. The deposition may have been moved, but there is still investigation to be done. This was the SM2 News Wrap for today. I'm Shylin Davis reporting for SM2 News. Follow us on our social media at SM2 Media or visit sm2media.com.
Thank you, Shy. And thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to our audio engineer, Matthew Lee, and Lena Pitletsky, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Huey Turlich, as well as our executive producer, Miss Whitney Howard, our program director, Shania Williams, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. Stay golden, Eagles.